The alien girl was starving while they laughed, until one human spoke. HFY military sci-fi story. Before we dive in, drop a quick humanity in the comments. It may seem small, but trust me, it really helps to share this story with more sci-fi fans like us. I love to see who's watching and know you're on this journey with me. Let's get started. Because when an alien girl was starving while the galaxy laughed, only one human spoke, and it changed everything. Blood on the floor. The girl was on her knees in the dirt, ribs showing through pale violet skin, trembling hands clutching an empty ration bowl. The Zereth arena was filled with jeers. Alien nobles, feathered, scaled, tentacled, pointed, and Dee laughed at her weakness. "She's finished," one sneered. "Let her die. Her kind isn't worth the food," another said. The girl looked up, eyes glowing faintly with hunger and shame, and then, from the shadows of the prisoner's pen, a rough human voice cut through the mockery, "Get her something to eat." The arena fell silent, because no one spoke against the Zereth. Fire in the arena. The human was Sergeant Mason Hale, scarred, broad-shouldered, still in tattered Terran armor from the last war. He stepped forward, jaw set. "She's starving. Feed her, or fight me." The Zereth nobles roared with laughter. One tossed a blade into the dirt, then let her earn her food. "Kill the Terran." The girl's eyes widened in horror. "No, don't." But Mason just bent down, picked up the blade, and grinned. "Really?" The first Zereth warrior lunged. Mason moved like a storm, blade flashing, bone cracking. Blood sprayed across the arena sand. The crowd howled, but their laughter faltered when they saw the way Mason fought, not just for himself, but shielding the girl behind him with every strike. By the time the dust settled, 6 Zereth were dead at his feet. Mason spat blood and barked, "Now feed her." A Valerie observer in the crowd sent a transmission. "The Terrans are too dangerous. Eliminate them before they inspire others." The prisoner and the soldier. The girl ate for the first time in weeks, hands trembling. Mason sat beside her, watching, silent. Finally she whispered, "Why? Why would you risk your life for me?" Mason's voice was quiet. "Because nobody else did." Her name was Erin, the last survivor of a conquered race. The Zereth kept her alive as a joke, a starving pet paraded through their games. And yet when she looked at the human, she saw something different. Not pity, not weakness, but rage, controlled, focused. The rage of someone who'd seen his people starve too. Before she could speak, alarms blared. Prisoners were being moved to the front lines. The swarm was attacking again. Mason and Erin were loaded onto a slave transport, headed straight for a battlefield that no one was meant to survive. Meat for the swarm. The Zereth shoved prisoners into rusted dropships, arming them with broken rifles. "Fodder," one guard hissed. "The swarm eats you first. We watch from orbit." Erin trembled, clutching her weapon. "We'll die." Mason checked the chamber of his rifle, expression flat. "Yeah, unless we make them die first." The dropship rattled as it descended through clouds of fire. Outside, chaos. The swarm was everywhere, chittering, screaming, oceans of bioflesh. Crashing against Zereth lines, prisoners screamed as they were thrown into the grinder, but Mason barked orders, voice sharp and commanding. "Form up, fire in volleys, keep your backs to the wrecks." Prisoners hesitated, then obeyed. And for the first time, the meat fodder fought like soldiers. Erin followed him, pulling the trigger until her arms shook, and against all odds, they held. Mason's tactics not only saved his group, they broke the swarm flank. Watching from orbit, Zereth commanders whispered, "The Terran is dangerous. Kill him before others rally to him." The whisper of rebellion that night around shattered wreckage, Erin spoke. "You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have saved us." "They'll kill you for it." Mason stared into the fire. "They're already trying." Question is, do we die quiet or loud enough the galaxy hears it? She swallowed. You mean rebellion? He didn't answer. But she saw the way the other prisoners looked at him now, not like a fellow slave, like a commander. Somewhere, deep inside, the ember of hope sparked. Erin overheard Xerith officers. Tomorrow they would withdraw their forces, leaving prisoners to be overrun as cleanup. Humanity's teeth at dawn, the swarm descended again. Xerith ships lifted off, abandoning the field. The prisoners screamed, realizing they'd been left to die, but Mason was already moving. Fall in! We're not dying here, not today, he led them in a brutal guerrilla retreat, planting mines, setting ambushes, turning wreckage into kill zones. The swarm, used to fodder breaking and running, crashed headlong into disciplined fire. Erin fought beside him, her voice ragged but strong. They'll listen to you, Mason. You could lead them all. And for the first time, he allowed himself to believe it. As the swarm broke off, a Valari cruiser descended, not to save them, but to issue a single command. Terran, surrender, or we erase you. The choice. The Valari commander's voice thundered across the battlefield. You are a danger to order. Your rebellion ends now. Lay down arms. Mason raised his rifle. Really? Erin grabbed his arm. They'll kill us all. But Mason saw the prisoners' faces. Broken species, shattered survivors, all of them watching him, waiting. If he surrendered, humanity's defiance died here. If he resisted, maybe the galaxy would finally see what humans were. He keyed his comm, broadcasting to every frequency. This is Sergeant Mason Hale, Terran Army. We're not surrendering. We're not backing down. If you want us silent, come and try. The Valari charged weapons, but in distant systems, other enslaved species heard his broadcast. And they listened. The battle of broken chains. The battlefield exploded. Swarm. Valari, prisoners, chaos. Mason led from the front, a whirlwind of fire and fury. Erin fought at his side, no longer a starving girl, now a warrior. They turned abandoned wrecks into turrets. They hacked swarm beasts to lure them into Valari lines. They fought like demons. And across the galaxy, the broadcast spread. One human, one starving alien, an army of slaves who refused to die quietly. The uprising began. Mason was cut down by a Valari plasma blast. Erin screamed his name, just as the swarm Leviathan descended upon them all. The girl who spoke, Erin knelt over Mason's broken body. His eyes flickered open, blood on his lips. You lead them now. Her voice broke. I can't. Yes, you can. His grip tightened on her wrist. Because you're still hungry. Stay hungry. Never stop fighting. Then he was gone. Erin rose, tears burning. She turned to the prisoners. No, the soldiers. Her voice carried across the battlefield. We are not fodder. We are not slaves. We are the fire they cannot extinguish. Today, we rise. And the galaxy trembled, because the girl who had once been starving, mocked and forgotten, now stood at the head of a rebellion, holding humanity's torch. Humanity's strength has been tested, but the war is far from over. If you want to see where this fight goes next, hit like, comment, stay hungry, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Until next time, remember, hunger can starve the body, but it also feeds the fire of rebellion.